tragic extent of my failings.
The tragic extent of your failings? Cannot be sure if they are not going to know the tragic extent of my failings just as well. Anyhow, as I remember, last time I finally got through the Necromancer and we got a blueprint. District buildings. The hamlet is growing and news of your presence is emboldening craftsmen to return. You may now construct all new buildings, expensive, which we've noticed, but provide unique bonuses that may help in our endeavors. Yes. And blueprints are rare loot items, age-old plans for expanding the hamlet, consumed when constructing new buildings in the districts, and they are guarded by bosses. Right. And they are so expensive to build that we are not going to be able to build anytime soon. Which is a shame. Did we get blacksmith upgrade yet? For weapons we did. Well, now we got to check what sort of mission awaits us. So let's see. Warrens would have a short skirmish. The Co would offer a medium cleansing mission. Do we have people to take it on? We sort of do. There's also a short scouting one available. Let's see here. That's a short one, that's also a short one. We will get Warren's boss open pretty soon. And these people need a first mission sometime. And bleed for wearables here. Sveta, but they also have the poison darts, so I think we are actually aiming for the Cove. The cleanse does not exactly have something I'm looking for, since bleed skills are how flagellants do their damage. So it would more or less be the scouting one over yonder. For the speed stone, am I sure about that? I could just go for the reckless charm or the book of intuition, though neither of those really strike me as a good one. I'll go for the scouting mission. But first things first, this party needs to relax. Anything special here? So you have intense craving for alcohol, might as well throw you in the bar. You cannot gamble. You want to get in the brothel. And you will only pray. So let's put that into order. Pray, and your place is kind of taken. Well, in this case you might as well go for the gambling hall. And Warbadon, you got tetanus. You can handle it for now. So have a meditation break. You had the tapeworm. Not that bad, is it now? So let's see, who are we sending? As many level 0s as possible, I believe. So what do you have? Lots of bleed here, you might be more suited for Warren's mission. You could... What's the damage low from Quirk? Well, your HP should be fuller than that, but whatever. Your poison darts should do most of the work here, though bleed resist lowering is sort of useful. What do you do? Is nice. Yeah, you are going to be our slot 1. Are we taking Meoles out? I don't think. So what about you, Gilpin? We might. Then again, Dismas is also available, and now let's take Dismas for the second slot. Wearables can take that one, or the last one, and then a healer would not hurt. We're taking Fekamp. We should be able to take Fekamp just fine. Then trinkets, swords and ends, that sort of thing. Before I forget, Wogan can have that one. And then anything you would want. This is something you would want. Is you are a gunner sort of person. Speed 4, speed 10. Might as well toss a speed stone on ya. And damage stone, sure, why not? And for you, you could take the Demon's Cauldron. If you debuffed things and you weren't already stressed, that is. So you could have this one. And that should be about it. Yeah, we should be good to go. So let's see here. Should be a safe amount. As should that. Then another shovel. Couple keys. Heard herbs were pretty good round these parts. And shovels were also rather useful. Yeah, that should be about it. Don't think there's much more. Just to be sure. Yep. Seems about right, seems about right, seems about right, and seems about right. Yeah, let's do this.
The smell of rotting fish is almost unbearable.
So let's see here, we need to explore 90% of the rooms, so yeah, let's just get on with it. And let's see, 2 battles are going to be right before us soon. So let's get on with it. How much damage does that do? 3 points per round. That cannot hit. Those won't hit. Let's toss these in. No blight. How very unfortunate, actually. And now they are getting their damage out, I see. Can only hit the very back with that. And that's not dying since it didn't get the blight. Might as well put out some healing. It's a fair amount, I'll have to say. Grape shot could get the kill, so let's make a fair attempt.
Give them no quarter.
It was a nice one, Dismas, I've got to admit. Now then, flashing daggers.
Impressive.
They're dodging pretty well, that's good, I've got to admit.
Their formation is broken. Maintain
We should be able to
defensive.
finish them off. right about now.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
So what do we have here? Loot. Good, good. Then first room battle of this mission. I'm not trusting this troll, I am not. But then again, should take out the Pelagic Guardian with Blight. Since we have it and all that. Dismas is shocked. Don't tell me that they are going to be stunning my whole front line. They are not. Good. That hurt. Let's try and patch that up real quick. No such luck, I see. And now you are protecting that one. That's not exactly what I was aiming for. Well, can't help it. Might as well focus on the back line now. If I cannot take the ground troll out. This should make have it take damage for me though. And the Iron Sworn. What? And they exploded. And now everyone is hurt. Not quite according to plan. Doubly so. It would be a real shame if I had to retreat. Thanks to one unfortunate guard from the enemy, but such are things sometimes.
Continue the onslaught.
Let's just see where we'll get
them all.
Another attempt here, since they... Oh, come on! Dismas, you just cannot resist bleeding, can you? Right, so you stall for a moment there, Variables. So that we can get a bit more healing to the front line. Well, if we got any healing out of that, but it's...
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
The skill's reliant on random number generation.
Seize this
Cannot
momentum.
win every time.
Push on to the task's end.
Let's consume some healing. And head on this way. We'll check that once we return out of this room. Nothing here. Well, we did get coin out of it, so that's good. Should have just looked at it on the first go through. And now hunger strikes, and we are running low on food. Unfortunate, I will have to admit. But such is life sometimes. I may have been underprepared, though I will not admit it.
Annihilated.
So let's get back to healing things. Dismas? Seriously? Are you even trying? Well, we'll get this sea maggot out of the game with a few well-placed poison darts. All the while, we should be able to whittle this one down with our knife.
Grievous injury.
And that was a critical.
Palpable fear.
Well, more blight darts, this time on the group. Since that maggot will die on their own. Not even close, but yes, I'll grant your request, be healed. Ah, now we are high rolling them again. That's good.
as the fiend
Bang,
falls,
bang, bang.
a faint hope blossoms.
And this heals for 1 HP, but it's
Great
still a
is the
heal.
weapon that cuts on its own.
More medicinal herbs. Here we have a torch.
In Radiance, may we find
So now with
victory.
better light, let's see what we'll find in this room. A fight where managed to surprise the enemy, that's good. Let's try and get the Pelagic Shaman out of there first. So a quick pistol shot. Some healing on the front lines. And this time this must actually resist the bleed, good. An iron sword there. Right, so we got something out of the way. And then flashing daggers, I think. Well, that's a problem. So we don't have stuns in this composition. Should have thought about it. Well, can't get them all. Time to start tossing in the poison darts on the more armored target. All the while we shall whittle down the other sources of damage. If we do the grape shot blast, it should get damage through the cultist. Right, so Dismas needs the heal. And we are juggling low HP here. We should be able to deal with this situation. You go back to your rightful place. And you shall put on more healing on the Hellion. At least the stresses are not building on the Occultist, who already has a stress problem. They are guarded, but I might just make the attacks on the target I actually want to kill, so when the guard ends I won't make misplays. 4 damage per round, that's unfortunate. Let's try and get this Guardian out of the game before they take down our Hellion through sheer bleeding alone. But it seems the Word reconstruction has started rolling good again. Well, next room it is. And we immediately run into a fight. Flashing daggers. Let's try and take down this troll before we get an explodey corpse on our faces again. So can't pistol shot it. Can knife it, so let's shank that one. And they are going to explode as the first action, are they? Not yet, I see. Well, Dismas can have some HP back. And it did not explode. And the HP we gave him actually has saved him from death's door. Excellent. So let's see here. If we do this toss, we have a chance of killing them, so in comparison this is no chance at all. Let's go for it, and we miss altogether. A shame, but it increases our accuracy for later. So a grape shot blast, it's a low chance at a kill, so let's just take the sure one. The Seaward Slashes hurt, especially with the additional damage given by the Shaman, so let's take out the Shaman there. More HP for the Hellion, still lost 1 altogether on that round, and Good one, Dismas. You just saved yourself from the death's door. Let's continue shanking people.
Singular strike.
Was not expecting the critical to end the combat.
A trifling
Well, I
victory.
guess we can work with
But a
that.
victory nonetheless.
A good dodge there. Venoi.
The way is lit.
So what
the
do
path
we
is
have
clear.
here?
We require only the strength to follow it.
Since they're barnacles, we could just take them off with a shovel. This is an empty room, which is a relief. Let's see, we are not running into additional battles on the way out, are we? Hopefully no additional hunger events either, since we didn't really pack enough food. One explosion at the start really put a damper on my mood. And the health of our heroes. And we immediately walk into a trap.
Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
That's a lot of negatives there. If only we could eliminate combat debuffs, which we could, since we have herbs, which have not got any curio use, which I brought them for, but... Hey, anything goes. Stop stressing yourself, you are going to go mad. Now we'll have to hope we don't run into another hunger soon, since if we do, we are going to have a somewhat crazy occultist at our hands. No fight in this room. Good. Get us that torch from there, will ya?
Light, the promise of safety.
Right, a trap that we managed to dodge. It's been more peaceful in this part of
As
the
the light
dungeon.
gains purchase, spirits are
Let's see
lifted
me regret it.
and purpose is made clear.
I just had to say it, didn't I? Irons on
Decimated.
there and we get one out right at the start. That's good. We missed twice. A good dodge, Dismas. And is this Death's Door? That's Death's
A
Door.
hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
Let's try and heal you off of it. Oh, the grave can wait. Agreed, agreed. Let's see, 5 to 9 in comparison to 5 to 9 with a bleed put on top. So we are going to be shanking these people. And that's unfortunate. Don't you dare. Not immediately back to Death's Door, so that's a plus. And we got Dismas on it now.
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
But let's see here. If we throw a dagger, no. Better just throw poison darts on the Guardian. So you can Grape Shot Blast and try to get the 1 damage in that. No, you are missing everything altogether. That's a shame. We would have got the kill on that one group there. If it bleeds, it probably won't, but at least we'll get damage in. And it bleeds. We can kill it. Don't stack bleeds on him, will ya? It's not prepared for that. Throwing dagger neatly executes that target. And Dismas is going to bleed themselves to the
Perched at
Death's
the very
Door again.
precipice of oblivion.
But he should be able to score a kill on the target and don't roll low. Ah, excellent. He is not going to get on Death's Door from that alone. So let's start beating down on the Guardian, shall we? And just barely not on death's door out of that attack, so the bleed will not have a chance to kill him. I'll have to hope this one heals for a good amount, and it does. A solid heal there. Best not toy around with the Guardian and instead get it out of the game soon. It's dying to these damages, so might as well heal for the 1 HP that we can.
Foolish horrors. Brought low
Quest is
and driven into
complete,
the mud.
and we get a scouting, so what's over there? More curios. Well, that's no fighting there, so... Let's gather this loot, shall we? 25 gold and... 25 gold. Well, I'd say we turned a profit out of this mission.
We will find all manner of great and terrible things in this watery tomb.
Yeah, that's 8,000 gold, more than we used for it, for certain. So you are now a beast hater as well. Veno is shaping up to be quite a warrior. Dismas wants to kill things. Understandable, I guess. And Wearables is unable to meditate since they don't get peace from their own mind.
A fresh irritant to some. A sanguine memory to me.
Stress reduction activities are slightly less effective and not a surprise. The Saloon went gambling and recovered 62 stress, good. Durandal, despite the dipsomania, recovered 50 stress, at least they are no longer irrational. Reynold may have went looking for Holy Vision, and Vobadon may have went to attempt to achieve enlightenment, so we got religious runners. I don't exactly appreciate them doing that. So what do we have here? A Vestal, Slugger, Unholy Hater, Light Sensitive. We already have a Vestal, and I don't really think there's anyone I'd throw out. So no, Ecoland is not... they are not Lily, who's hard-skinned, which is real good if you ask me. Then Villain, don't have one of your kind, but you got slow draw and slow reflexes, so you are out on that principle alone. And then you have On Guard, which is excellent for Leper Pont, but we already have Durandal, who has some experience on them already, and a fair collection of these quirks. Oh yeah, I think we are not hiring anyone this time. But what else could we do? Ah yes, this would be the courtyard thing, but I don't think I'm ready for it yet. Bleed skill chance, less healing skills. That actually sounds pretty good. Then here we have more stress healed when camping and scouting chance for Helmet. And here's a Speed Stone, so very interesting. Resurrection Collar's not that good. And here a Bloodied Fetish. No, I do think we are going cleansing. Don't need crests that much. The busts interest me more, even though we have our fair share of those as well. But let's think about who we are bringing a little while. So Lily is good, I do believe. So he's coming with us. Then we could consider Musar. Saloon's probably hopping on this train. Right there, I believe. Yes, that's the spot where they can use all of their abilities. Then Gilpin, the melee expert. I do think they'll be joining us again, taking that spot. And then who would be taking the backmost row? Ventris, can you do anything from there? You can remove stress, I guess. I don't think you'll be a good fit to this party composition. Nor would Tustain fit in. How about Musart? You have Warren's phobe, so I should avoid putting you into that sort of thing. What about Ross? We won't have anything to offer for marks unless we broke them their own. Wearables technically could be taken along with the flashing daggers, though they have almost 50 stress and this is not exactly the shortest mission they'd be on. But do we have... Well, that's not going to solve the problem. I think we are taking Ross. That should be fair enough. Now we could see into the equipment of the more experienced ones of the party. They are pretty cheap anyhow. Might as well upgrade everyone's weapon. Well, Saloon's mostly healing, so that's not needed. Now that we are ready with that, we should take a look at getting Fee-Camp healed of the stress. I think Tavern's the most fitting one. Booze, yes, why not? Then I think wearables need something, so I'll throw them into the meditation. Ah yes, your mind is unquiet. Well, you can pray to a higher power. Then Dismas, you had 45 stress. You could not gamble. They could toss you in the brothel. Although Durandal has already had some, I think they could have more meditation. They would finish with meditating after drinking. And Dismas, well, we can have Dismas restore stress over time naturally. For the Warrens, we've got enough bleed damage, I think. Oh yes, this should be it. Now let's see here. We are going to need a fair bit of food. We should also be able to find some over in here. Then when it comes to torches, this should be a good amount. Last time I had multiple left over. 3 keys since we ran out last time. The same in shovels. And we got a bandage that might well be enough. I think that's enough supply items. Yes, you should be fine. Do we have anything we could give you? Gilpin. You're already pretty fast, but that's on the first round only. So let's give you a move stone, the speed stone we just scrounged for ourselves, and go for it.
They breed quickly down there in the dark. But perhaps we can slay them even faster.
Well, this dungeon looks actually to be rather simple in its shape and form. So we are first going to be running into a room battle with Kirio. We have Radiant Light now that we enter into this battle, which is good with me. Right, so let's begin by activating a riposte and starting the beat down on these things in the front rows. Excellent, we are getting them down. Might as well drop suppressing fire, since that's going to kill the drummer, and we'll get some damage with the Carrion Eater.
Give them no quarter.
And then you can heal the Highwayman at the front, since he's pretty much the only one that's taking damage. Apart from yourself, but... well, more punishment incoming. Double resist, I see. Well, get riposted. Critically so. And then you can just put on battlefield bandages, so Selûne won't have to heal herself. It's a wicked slice incoming.
Cleansed from our lands.
Loot! And then let's get the default party order back in check and... used for ancient barbaric rituals. Did this use holy water? I suddenly don't really remember. You try that. Well, that was a lot of stress, but on the other hand, it's on the flagellant, so there's been worse things.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require
We
only
managed
the
to
strength
surprise
to
the
follow
first
it.
enemies, which is good. But we'll try and get the cultist from the back down as soon as possible. And that should be it. Yes, that is it. Now then... some old-fashioned judgment. And Bolas.
As the fiend falls, a faint
Yeah, they're
hope
getting
blossoms.
one attack in. And they even missed that, so that was a good fight for us altogether.
Another one falls.
That's
Foolish
bleed
horrors.
resistance.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
Flat bleed resistance. I don't think it fits Lily. It's already got 75. Yeah, you carry it for now, Dismas. Not reading random books lying around. This room does not have an enemy, but we are walking right into a
In
battle
Radiant,
here.
may we find victory.
These enemies are surprised by us. That's good.
Executed with impunity.
So first of all, riposte. Second of all, smacking things with a flail. Then old-fashioned judgment.
The wounds of war can
And if we
be
hit
healed,
this sniper shot,
but never hidden.
we've dealt with them before they got a single attack in. Free loot. I'm not
As
complaining.
victories mount, so too will resistance.
This is Rusty Knives covered in fresh blood. Now I know you flagellants like punishing yourselves, but try these bandages while you search it. More food, more money. No complaints from me. And we'll get the Radiant Light into this fight, which is distinctly easier than I had
Back
feared.
to the pit.
Now that riposte is active, we can get on to punishing these things. And let's try and get as many down as possible. Right, seems they are getting their actions in now.
The slow death, unforeseen.
We're a bit on the slow
Unforgiving.
side there, Vestal, and you missed. Can't say that I'd be impressed with that, but it happens every now and then.
Slowly, gently.
Another one
This is how a
down,
life
so
is taken.
let's put some healing over there. And go for the Wicked Slice.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
So let's see, we're probably coming back from here if we are coming back from somewhere. And we won't be coming all the way to here, so let's just get this open and done with.
The match is struck.
So
A blazing
deeds,
star is
yes, we
born.
have a need for deeds. You can carry that one. Or should I rather... You take it for a while. We have a trap here, so 15, 90, 80. Try to get some stress relief out of that saloon, will ya? Excellent. And now we are going to a direction we have not visited yet. Well, I've got to admit, this is an enemy formation I've not seen before. 3 spine wretches.
Confidence surges as the enemy
Well, one of them
crumbles.
down. Almost. Accuracy base 70, accuracy base 80. What was I saying? Let's try and get the torch out of that as
Formation
well.
is broken.
Since you do
Maintain
not
the
need
offensive.
self-healing right now. And only one enemy remains. Unfortunately, they are getting 2 moves in a row. But we'll take them down
Decimated.
with a well-placed Wicked Slice.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They
We've
can
earned
be
a fair
beaten.
bit of food by now. Now let's use the second set of bandages here
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
and clear this with the shovel, and we'll be on our way. Scouting's good, scouting's good. Right. Next, and that's the first food we need. And so you had an 80, you try again. Good one. Booze. which did add additional damage until camp, so yeah, that's for Gilpin.
The light,
More
the promise
light
of safety.
as we head the long way. Not touching that, I think. We don't have holy water. Still on radiant light. Seems to be a recurring theme. Memo to self, bring more holy water next time you call yourself over into the Warrens. And let's take down the swine drummer, shall we? And get on with beating down the wretch. Now you Chopper have protection, but if we get a good hit on the Carrion Eater, we'll get rid of them entirely, but the hit was not good. Or at least not good enough. We are nearing Rapturous every moment on the Flagellant. And Saloon staying quite the beating. Oh, let's see here. Put out some vein openers. And you may finish that one off while you're at it. Almost riposted that one out of there. Ledach is 4 speed less, which is really unfortunate. So let's finish the wretch before they spread that to anyone else. And you can heal 3 or... yeah, you might just as well drop the Divine Grace on yourself. The rest of the party can handle the Butcher cutting swine. That's them almost down already. So let's finish it.
Seize this momentum.
The blood,
Push on to
I
the
see.
task's end.
This is
As
a
the light gains
non-room
purchase,
fight that we have
spirits are
here.
lifted.
I forgot
purpose
to
is made
move
clear.
Gilpin back, but we can work with this. Hopefully Saloon won't be taking too much more blight on themselves, although it's only 1 per turn for 1 turn more. So let's take the stress deal out of the equation first, since we don't have stress heals, well we do have ordinary heals. That should be it, that's it, yes.
Great is
them
the
down.
weapon that cuts on its own.
And let's soften that up a little bit, shall we? And that's them down. Good, excellent, fine.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is
We
a
got
slow and
Onyx
insidious
here, but I
killer.
think we can go on without it. And these we can leave for later, since we're returning through here. And we might as well save the torches, since we are going to be camping here in the end room. Oh, actually... oh yeah, you wanted to take a look at that, didn't ya? We'll actually camp here, so that we can return in the dark and not run into a shambler. Because running into a shambler is not what we are looking for. No, it isn't. What we are looking for is more loot, no shamblers. Right, so let's
The
knock
darkness
that
holds
out
much worse than
and
mere
loot
trickery
things.
and boogeymen.
And that's a lot of swine calls coming out.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Portrait. Well, portraits are still quite valuable, 750 each to 50 each. This is a tough call, but I think Jade shall make way. And I also
Finding the stuff is only the first test.
Mistake. Should have thrown away something else. Oh well. Sticking with the dishes then. We have got a battle there. So we might just put out one torch. I may be paranoid, but I've seen very bad things happen to myself when I've given the game a chance to do it. So you'll have to excuse me while I avoid things that literally happen once in 100 times or so. Since while this is a neat little relic,
a hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
And we are getting critted down, are we? Get yourself out of death's door. There's no place for a Vestal to be at. There, you should be fine now. It's funny how little damage Lily has actually taken on this mission, now that I think of it. Since flagellants want to take damage, but they mostly take stress damage thus far. Well, that's more like it. And now they have reached the Rapturous state. So let's see what that did again. So they get faster. They start hitting harder. And they become slightly more unpredictable. Well, I'm fine with that, I think.
A momentary abatement.
Let's try and knock that one back so that, well, naturally that didn't quite work out.
A powerful blow.
Nice critical one there, Lily. And now they just want to get riposted to death, I guess. Well, I can work with that.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Not touching that thing, no sir. Hunger heals and not touching that thing either. The plan was to camp here, but we should be able to take on that room battle if we just put up a bit more torch. Yeah, just like that. One more stage, I think. And now let's see what awaits us here. So again, the usual, let's get rid of the drummer first. Well, faster than planned, but not complaining. Spasm of the entrails, that sounds painful. What does it do? Heals less when camping, not as bad as I had thought. Now you... Yep, that's a dead swine wretch if I've ever seen one. Calvist Brawler can take a hit from the Arbalest before they move forward and get slain by Gilpin's riposte. Pain is your compass. More critical, more damage. Fine with me. Since you still have 7 HP. You should not beat yourself to death though. That's not what we are looking for. And since there's 2 enemies and one can inflict bleeding, better for you to heal yourself a bit. Even if it hurts your combat viability, most of the damage still comes from bleeding. Funny trait from the pigmen there. They did less damage than they took. And that's about it.
Be wary.
Can't take more citrine.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
So what do we have here? Well, let's use the firewood, and we would have got 2 more
Gathered
jade.
close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
Well, can't help it now, taking the portrait. And we have tons of food remaining, so might as well feast. Let's see here. We are out of room battles. Well, we could just as well check what's in there. And if we do, this won't hurt. Then what's here? You know, you probably won't need that. And... well, let's pray a little bit. And... there's little to do, but let's try for gallows humor. Well, it worked for most of us. And now let's see us get nighttime ambushed for more loot. Now best press on.
Terrors may
And
indeed
nighttime
stalk these
ambushed
shadows, but yonder,
by
a glint of gold.
2 Webbers. Hello! I would like to question the validity of this ambush. Anyhow, let's get back to the front, Lily. And illumination shall be dropped there. We are no longer in the pitch black, it seems. Well, let's finish this off anyhow.
Success so
Not
clearly
taking
in
the
view.
citrine if we can have
Or is it
those.
merely a trick of the light?
Right, so what's over here in the last... well, you take a look at it then, Ross. Nothing. Ain't that a bummer? Then you things... well, come at Gilpin, will ya? Unless you die before you get to do that, that's also an option. I do think. One of them survived, and they went for Ross, but they missed. So that's them dealt with. No loot,
This
as
expedition
unfortunate
at
as it
least
is.
promises success.
And then in the final room we should not have a battle, so there's absolutely nothing in here. Oh well.
Their squeals fade. Their confidence is shaken.
So we got 28 crests, 2 deeds, 7 portraits and the 2 busts from the quest reward, and 8,700 more or less in gold, and the punishment's hood. Fitting Lily's playstyle during the mission. So now Saloon's got vampiric spirits as a disease. And Gilpin's got a positive quirk, so they'll not stress out when backtracking. That's good, I think.
A fresh irritant to some. A sanguine memory to
So, town remains a buzz. No surprise there. Fecampus recovered 50 stress, wearable 62. Durandal has got a new positive quirk of the meditation. And Woberon and Reynold finally got back. And Forens has advanced far enough for the Swine Prince to be available. And they're offering Martyr's Seal for fighting at death's door and avoiding death blows. Sounds like something that could work with a flagellant, doesn't it? Oh well. We'll see if we are going to go for that next time around, but I'm thinking against it. Give me some thoughts in the comments if you'd like, but it's been awfully quiet there for some time now. Oh well, I'm sure someone's still watching out there since the view count keeps going up, so I'd like to thank you about that. For showing interest in what I do here. Anyhow, thanks for joining me this week, and we'll be delving deeper come the following one.